Premier League rivals don't see eye to eye. Or do they? Today we're about to find out, because I have pitted 4 London rivals together in a room to find out if all Premier League rivals think the same. I'm going to read out a statement like this.
London has the better rivals than the northwest of England.
And then the fans are going to move left or right depending on whether they strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Today's video is a London edition, but if you would like to see another one with other football fans, then make sure to subscribe and leave a comment in this video to get your team involved. Now let's find out how these Premier League rivals got along.
I feel like Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester United, City are bigger rivalries than anything that you guys have got.
What? Pardon me? Wait, hold up.
No chance.
I already did.
You're going to get cooked.
Are we talking just Premier League?
Come take a look at this.
Just Premier League.
So Tottenham Arsenal is probably the biggest.
I don't know if it is, bro. I don't know if it is.
What do you think it is?
I think even like Man United Arsenal is like a big game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
big, but the London derbies are big.
It was
North London
London
derby's
versus
big.
Even
Yeah.
Chelsea, Tottenham is
Chelsea,
big.
Tottenham is huge.
Tottenham's a big thing as
Yeah,
well.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
Tottenham.
But then like you've also got like Leeds United as well. Like they're huge games, man. There's like, and if you
Leeds are
think,
hardly even
Yeah,
I
I
hear
know,
what you're
yeah,
saying.
you're talking about, like they're not even here, man. Like there's years and years and years of
Yeah,
like
but Leeds-
hooliganism, surrounding those games, you know.
And you can say the same thing for Spurs, Chelsea.
Oh, Spurs, Chelsea is a bit
Chelsea,
These guys-
Tottenham, Arsenal is mental.
Even against you, lot,
Tottenham,
West Ham.
I forgot West Ham. Millwall.
Tottenham, West Ham as well. That's a mental
Do you know,
one.
I'll go disagree.
Okay.
I'll go disagree, but I genuinely feel like Manchester is probably the northern teams are probably running football right now. So I feel like they have
the rivalry.
Yeah,
rivalry.
yes.
Big.
I think
Arsenal, Tottenham's big. Chelsea, Tottenham, massive.
I can agree with Man United and Liverpool. That's
Yeah,
a big
definitely. That's
rivalry.
yeah.
But when I look at United, City, like even over the years, like
Yeah, it's not
City
really-
haven't,
there's not really
City
been
have
a
just been
needle
wiping the
there.
floor with
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
And
yeah.
United used to wipe the floor with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Sort of a side question on it, comparing sort of two rivalries. So let's take like Spurs versus West Ham, for example, where historically Spurs obviously won more than West Ham, but it's still like a really strong rivalry. Compare that to Liverpool versus Everton, where it's a similar sort of scenario. Liverpool have historically won a lot more, but it's still a strong.
That is a bigger game. Liverpool-Everton is a
Okay,
infinitely
what's that?
bigger
You
game.
think it's a big of a derby like that?
Nah, it's not. It's
a
a
big
big
game,
derby,
man.
but it's an awful derby. Like
Awful.
Liverpool and Everton is like.
In terms of the gap between the teams, I hear you.
It's a no-brainer. It's like it's kind of boring to
Then
watch.
like
'cause you already
Newcastle,
know the
Sunderland as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Like,
Sunderland ain't been around in the Premier League for so long. It's
Our
like you
clubs
can't
are
really
It's
around
big
more
for up
time,
there, I hear you.
But
Up the year,
if they ain't playing regularly, you can't really.
can't, yeah.
We've got
it's not the
we've got a
same.
lot of good London
Yeah.
derbies.
Okay, there has to be London.
Yeah, it has to
I'm
be.
with
It
London.
has to be.
Yeah, it has to be London.
The North London derby is the biggest rivalry in English football.
Take your step, man.
Yeah.
Take your
You
step.
can change your mind.
Take your step, Jay. Change your step.
wording. He said English football.
Oh, God.
They're still gonna say Merseyside.
So what are you saying then? What are you saying?
West Ham Millwall is a bigger rivalry than that.
Oh
Like,
come on.
no, you're mad. Well, we don't play each other. Look, but okay.
I've been to West Ham.
Which is why-
You're from the East End, right?
Bro, I live around the corner from there. I see the derby. No,
It's probably a more vicious derby, like in terms of the punch up and the tear ups and all of that.
Is it that bigger than Newcastle, Sunderland, Liverpool, Everton? Like,
I think
massive games, man. They're
Tottenham
nice.
is.
I think it's big for you guys.
I think even you as a Chelsea fan, you see
I look forward to
When
the derby,
you
bro. I
hear
look
Gary
forward to
Neville
it.
talk about
Bro,
it, when you hear Carragher talk
everyone.
about it, the whole world
It's a
tunes in
big
for that. It's a
deal.
big
The whole
game,
world
man.
tunes in. Who's tuning in from God knows where? For Liverpool, Everton, like that.
It's a big deal.
Like even when I watch the game, I'm on my phone. With all due respect. Come on, Jay.
Who's tuning in?
They're gonna get you in the comments.
That's why come for me. We played Millwall like 11 years ago. See what happened at the game. Like, honestly, like fans storming the pitch, police getting
I was
involved.
there.
You know
The
what I'm saying?
afterwards was mad. Helicopters.
Like, you were there.
everything.
You know what I mean? You were there.
I was there. I remember that £5 for a ticket.
Yeah.
I was there.
This is your man, Chelsea. This is your man.
Like, he's throwing you out, you know, he's getting you in trouble.
Local, man. Local. You lot aren't a threat to me, or well, you weren't a threat to me back then.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Side question: what do you think is the most underrated derby in English football?
Underrated.
Portsmouth, Southampton.
Really, that's decent.
I'd
shout,
say
actually.
Brighton, Crystal
Huge
Palace, because we don't.
That's a weird
That's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their fans proper get up for it, but us as outsiders are like, how's that a derby?
How's that derby?
That's
I'd say it's an underrated one because they get it, we don't.
Chelsea and Arsenal aren't really rivals.
Chelsea and Arsenal aren't really
And I've got a reason why I'm in my head why I've asked this one.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say this.
They're not really.
You know, the
I know you're being cheeky.
reason why is because they keep selling players to each other, and rivals don't do that. Jorginho, Havertz.
You sold me. You sold me.
There's
Willian.
Yeah, exactly.
There's been a lot.
David Luiz. Like rivals don't do that. You would never see Tottenham and West Ham do business.
That's Ashley Cole if we're talking about
stay here
as
as
well.
You would
There is-
never, you
there
would
is-
never see Arsenal and
We are
and Tottenham.
rivals. We are rivals. I'm gonna stay here. We are rivals.
lot are too
But the whole
pally-pally for
selling
me.
thing is frustrating. It's very annoying. So I do hit, but it's not as big as the Arsenal. Tottenham.
yeah.
But there is one there.
Yeah, I wouldn't strongly disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree. But there's definitely a rivalry
Yeah,
between
there is,
Chelsea
yeah.
and Arsenal. I think business is business. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Yeah,
you know what
you say that business
that's-
is business, but rivals don't
ain't doing
do
business.
exactly. We ain't doing business,
Yeah,
and we
but-
ain't
We haven't
definitely.
for
Are we,
years.
are we
Yeah,
gonna
the
do
last one's
business?
probably what Jermaine
So,
It's probably the last one, I'd say.
I'm not. Maybe, maybe I'm looking at it from a different point of view
Hmm.
because we use them as CEX. You know what I'm saying? We don't pull our rubbish over there. Do you know what I mean?
I ain't saying
That's cool. That's dope.
Look where we are. Look where we are. You know, you gave us the Jorginho. Jorginho, man, and match Liverpool. We're cool. We're easy. Yeah.
We're definitely rivals, man. But
yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
The
saying.
reason why I say like really rivals. 'cause
Yeah,
they are just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
of course you're
yeah,
rivals.
yeah.
And also, just as a Spurs fan, I feel like they do come together in those
Yeah,
games and
they-
sing about
yeah.
Spurs more than do about each other.
100%. I've seen
That's the
you
only
join
thing.
We
forces.
definitely hate you guys more than
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But
Definitely. Good question, man. Good question.
That was just a bit of a cheeky one. Chelsea need to sack Poch to achieve success.
I'm not gonna say strongly agree. What I'll say for now as a Chelsea fan, I'll say agree for now because I don't think Poch is the only problem. I think the owners, you know, they've brought in too many young players. I think the players, some of them shouldn't even be at Chelsea. When I look at some of them, do you know what I mean?
You're edging.
But that's not their fault. That is not their fault because it's the owners that went and signed them. But I think right now Pochettino has been a massive problem. You know, week after week he hasn't been setting us up correctly, and it's killing these kids. Because I think we've got some good quality players in his team. When you look at Caicedo's, Enzo's, Palmer, Nkunku's back now, and he still can't find a way to win games. He still can't find a way to get the best out of them. But I don't think it's going to solve the whole problem because there's still guys upstairs that need to go as well.
That's where I agree with you. I think the problems are at board level, and that's been clear with the signings you've brought in and the amount of money you spent under the Todd Bowley era.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know that Chelsea fans have got used to the shotgun manager kind of approach with getting rid of your manager and you see success. But you've always had world-class players at your club when you've done that every single time. You always had a John Terry or a Frank Lampard to go and win you a trophy, like when someone comes in.
Yeah.
You don't have those players now, man. Like you said it yourself, you've got a bunch of kids. I don't know what manager comes in and does a better job than
Listen,
Poch.
when I look at Poch, I don't see the Poch that managed Tottenham, that swashbuckling, on the front foot, pressing, good patterns of play, scoring goals, high octane, solid defensively. I don't see that Poch anymore. He's playing Levi Colwill as a fullback. He's playing players out of position. You don't know your midfield three. You don't know your starting 11. These are managerial problems. Yes, there's the board and all the other issues, but the manager still isn't doing managerial things.
Facts.
And we're like 3/4 through a season.
The main problem is he's trying to use technical players and trying to turn us into like a Liverpool rock and roll team.
Yeah.
You can't do it with them.
We're not that with these sort of players. Our players that we've got need to be, you know, playing close to each other. They need to be, you know, popping the ball about. A bit like Brighton. They're the sort of players that we've got, right? But he's got us trying to play like Liverpool. And when we try to do that, we get smoked.
When I saw Poch go Chelsea, I was genuinely worried. Like, if I'm being honest, like, take away all the banter and all the bravado, I was scared because I knew what he did when he came into Tottenham, and I was like, wow, with this team, the fact that the manager will continue to back him where Levy didn't, I was like, this Chelsea team could be a problem. But then I'm seeing him set up weirdly, every game, different formations, every different...
trying to build around
Conor Gallagher love it needs to stop.
Sorry,
This man's trying to build around Conor Gallagher.
This
This is a problem.
a different
It's a
manager
big
could
problem.
have got more success out of this team, and I get that there's a lot of players, and I get that there's board problems, but a stronger manager would have had your best 15,
Facts.
a starting 11 that he knows and trusts, play players in the right position, have a brand of football. Like, I just don't see any of that when I watch. When I watch Chelsea, I don't know what they're doing.
Old stadiums are better than the new ones.
Oh, I loved it. I loved
I
hybrid.
actually thought there was going to be a bit more of a
First
little
of-
split there, to be
Nah,
honest.
man.
That was-
You man, the first of all, hybrid. You remember that one through ball? One through ball, you're ready for a goal. It was...
As much as I love our stadium, I do miss the atmosphere of the old stadium.
Yeah, facts.
I miss that camaraderie and that togetherness.
Yeah.
Like, when I go to, like, if you go to like a Goodison Park or Kenilworth Road, I feel jealous of that team's, that atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when you grow as a bigger stadium, you get bigger. Yes, it's great from a commercial aspect, but sometimes the fans that come, with all due respect, they're not the diehard fans.
Yeah.
So you lose the atmosphere,
And they
you
get
lose
spread
the
across as
chanting.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a lot more tourists, and I get as a brand, football's changing and all of that, but yeah, sometimes you just want that feel that togetherness.
Living
do you
in
know
the
what I mean?
East as well, I remember going Upton Park, just the build up on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Walking Barking Road, getting to that pub on the corner. Was it Hammers?
The bowling. Yeah.
So in the corner, hot dog. Honestly, you couldn't beat it, man. You couldn't.
And even just the ground, like when you talk about atmospheres, you've got Palace.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Sellers
small.
Park. It's my
Sellers
favourite ground.
Park, you know what I mean? West Ham,
Proper
Upton
ground,
Park.
yeah.
You know, even bro, Chelsea. Like I know the atmosphere usually is quite.
Yeah, this year's not really.
But when it's rocking, you can feel how small it is.
I love a vintage stadium.
Yeah,
There's something more raw about it.
Authentic.
You nailed it. Like the new stadiums, like the new wave stadiums, like London Stadium, like the new White Hart Lane and whatnot, they are very much there as a commercial entity of a bigger brand.
It's a brand.
Whereas like when you go to like a Sellers Park or a Kenilworth Road,
you're behind the pole, mate.
yeah, man, you get that raw,
You know what I mean?
that
the raw
feel,
footballing experience that you just don't
proper.
get there because, you know, even at West Ham, we get a lot of tourists come in now because we get international players and that's just the way the game's going. But it's just a far cry away.
I miss it.
You know?
I do miss it.
No, facts.
I would rather see Man City win the Premier League than Liverpool.
Strongly agree.
Oh, absolutely.
I generally don't care if I'm being honest.
Pardon me? Liverpool fans. Liverpool
I
fans.
generally don't care. I don't have any issues with Liverpool fans. I don't have any issue with Man City fans. I'm a Spurs
This one's
fan.
from my mum.
From Tottenham.
My mum's a Liverpool fan. Listen.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I know this.
So you were a glory hunter when you were a kid.
No, listen. You know what? I hear what you're saying because no one supports Man City. But if Liverpool won it,
Nah, man, their fan base are the biggest crybabies online.
from recent events, I feel it. Yeah,
do you know what I
yeah.
mean? They've only seen one Prem. I can't have them having
But they bring
another
up
one.
Champions League. That's
as
what
well.
they'll do.
I know
Genuinely.
technically Man City will be getting further away from us,
yeah.
but I just love the fact that Liverpool have only won one Premier League, and I cannot stand their fan base. Man City, when they win the league, I see the celebrations. I turn off the TV. I go outside. I don't see no blue tops anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't see nothing anywhere. But Liverpool, I've got Liverpool friends. You know, and ever since I started doing content, bro, I know more now, and I can't stand them. I cannot stand them. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we've got a little bit of history with Liverpool. You guys remember who they slipped against? It was against us. You know what I'm saying? Demba Ba and Steven Gerrard. That was against us. So for me, nah, man, Man City always.
I'm
less of the two evils.
I'm strongly agree. The first time I ever cried at football was when I was a kid in the FA Cup final when Steven Gerrard scored. My mum's a Liverpool fan
Oh, is she?
as well. So I'm there crying at the TV. My mum's celebrating. So I've got this childhood trauma and resentment. My dad's a West Ham fan. We're sitting there like miserable.
She celebrating.
Celebrating, yeah.
That was a long time ago, and it's still there.
Yeah.
Rent free.
I think you've forgotten the Liverpool fans that you know, Patrick. You know, because we know the same Liverpool
Oh,
fans.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know the same
They
ones. You
are
know?
jarring. They are jarring. But no, I'm staying here, man. I don't mind. I genuinely don't care. From a
If you want
footballing
Liverpool fans on
standpoint.
this as well, then
life
leave a
of a
comment down
Spurs
below. I feel confident about my team this season.
Confident in what respect?
I guess it's just how you interpret the question.
I don't feel. To make it easy for you guys,
I feel like my foot don't want to move.
I'll stay here.
My feet are stuck.
I want Pochettino out. I don't feel confident in the team. I don't feel confident in the manager. You know, like Patrick has already said, 1 week he does something and he changes it. He'll find a solution. The following week he will change it. So I've got no confidence in the team. Liverpool
know
beat
what?
us in the final as it is.
Doing it.
I've got no confidence, no hope.
I'm very confident with Arsenal, you know.
You're very confident.
Do you know what it is?
Confident of what, though?
Do you know what it is?
Confident of
Because
what?
my expectation before the season, I said I want Champions League a good run. I know we're not going to win it. I always said quarterfinal minimum. I'm cool with that. FA Cup, cool, it happened, whatever. But in the league, I don't know. I just still think there's a twist. I genuinely do. Because I look at, you know, normally in them big games, we normally struggle. I know we go Etihad, normally we never win. Old Trafford's normally funny for us. But for us to be not lose to Liverpool, first of all, we come back against you guys, we drew with you like Emirates. I think we're doing all right in the big games. Them little games are just costing us here and there. I honestly believe we're going to have a great season. I genuinely do. Timber's coming back. Partey eventually, I think.
Timber. We ain't even seen this guy play yet.
This guy, don't be mocking my Timber.
But we ain't even seen him play like in the
he's going to
Premier,
come
you know
back
what I mean?
and just destroy it. I'm so adamant.
Well, what about West Ham? Because obviously you're in a good position, to be fair, compared to what people thought. But there are still a lot of talks about Moyes out and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of discourse around Moyes being in or out. Like either way, he's going to be here till the end of the season at least. The only worry I have as a West Ham fan, which is always consistent with being a West Ham fan, is like squad depth. We let 3 squad players go in January and brought in Calvin Phillips. So I worry that injuries are going to maybe hinder our season. And I think we're sitting pretty in like 7th at the moment. Do I expect us to finish there at the end of the season? Probably not with our squad. But then again, it's down to expectations. I weren't expecting to finish 7th in the league at the start of the season. So I'm confident that we're not going to get relegated. You know what I'm saying? We're not probably going to win the league. You know what I'm saying? So, we're not going to win the league. So like, I have to agree that we'll be okay by the end of the season. You know?
Perfect. All done.
Wow, that's sick.
That was good, man.